All right, let's do a quick fiddle tune before we get into today's magic product review. All right, there you are, is my feeble attempt at the Lone Ranger. For no particular reason, it's just what popped into my head before I turned on the camera today. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am FiddlinJonny, and this is my Fiddle channel and magic product review. And today we are going to be reviewing one of Craig Petty's latest releases called Keymaster. Now, Keymaster was originally released by Craig, I don't know, somewhere between 13 to 15 years ago. This is an updated version with new routines added to it and an additional gimmick as well. Anyway, stick around, see if this one's right for you. Hello everyone, hey, just grateful that you are here on this channel, and if you're brand new here, welcome. I'm glad that you have found the channel. I hope it's of value to you. If you want something from a magic product review and you're not getting it here, let me know, leave a comment, and I will do my best to be responsive to sort of what you desire in a magic product review. Now, I can't make promises that I'll absolutely be able to fulfill all of those wishes, but I definitely will try and let you know if I'm able to or not able to. All right, Keymaster, put out by Craig Petty and released through Penguin Magic. Craig Petty has been a beast in the last year and a half, releasing lots of products. Now, Keymaster is something that he originally released, I think, somewhere between 13 to maybe 15 years ago. This is an updated version, and there's been variations on it over the years that have been released by Craig and sometimes not by Craig. And in this version, it's new, it's updated. So let's talk about what is it, or what's the effect that you get with this. Well, in essence, in its purest and most simple form, Keymaster is where you have multiple spectators, you're able to put keys in their hands, and the hole in the key moves. It can move from the top of the key to the bottom of the shaft. You can take a hole off of one of the keys and throw it on and end up to have two holes on the key. You can actually make all of the holes disappear from the keys. All of this can happen in your spectator's hands right in front of them in a close-up environment. So that's the purest, most simplest form of it. Craig has a total of 10 different routines that he's going to teach on there that will include things that cards he'll bring into play, business cards he'll bring into play. He'll bring string into play so that you can sort of classic string and ring effects, which I personally liked the best on this. He'll also do some coin stuff and coin work with it as well. So you get a lot of different variations and ideas on this release. All right, let's talk a little bit about what you get. So I've actually already started to hang these on my own personal keychain and using it as everyday carry. I'm gonna bring these up to the screen so that you can see these, and hopefully they'll actually show well. So you're gonna get 4 gimmicked pins, and I don't want pins, 4 gimmicked keys, and I don't really want to call them gimmicks because they're just regular keys that happen to have holes in them. Nothing special in that respect. There's one that has 2 holes on it, and one finally, this is the newest gimmick in this one, is that it is a key with no holes in it. So those are the 4 keys that you're going to receive in this release. All really good quality, high quality keys, sturdy and strong, and just normal keys. So that's what you're gonna get, but in addition to the 4 keys, you're going to get a 2-hour and 13-minute video tutorial. And let's face it, 2 hours and 13-minute video tutorial on what starts off as a very simple routine is a lot of content with a lot of ideas and a lot of routines on this release. So how are the instructions? I have 0 issues on this in terms of from an instruction point of view. The quality of the sound and the visual is great. It's done at the Penguin Magic Studios, so you know you're getting good quality there. Craig teaches very well. He goes slow enough for the beginner, when it comes to what are the sleights and the moves that you need to learn. And he goes fast enough for those who are experienced so that it's not a snooze or bore fest at all. He takes the time to go over the gimmicks themselves, and then time to go over different routines that you can learn so that you can sort of find what's really going to work for you and your character, and spends the time with the moves that you need to. I like the close-up shots are all done really well and appropriate at the appropriate time, so quality of it is really, really good. And I don't have any issues with the instructions, and I would say Craig actually does a really nice job doing his tutorial. I think he's a good teacher. All right, let's talk about how is the gimmick. Really, the props, they're great. They'll last forever in the same way that any key will last. They come uncut, but since they're sort of normal keys that are uncut, if you want to have them cut and make them your everyday keys, you certainly can. And me personally, I'm thinking about that because it reduces the number of keys that I have to keep on my keychain and can just simply use these as like a house key. So I think that's a really nice aspect if that matters to you. Now, Craig says on his that he has left his uncut, and he's never had anyone ever ask the question like, why are those uncut keys? But those are the things I think if you're looking at this and considering it things to run through your own sort of thinking in terms of what works for you. Gimmicks is fine, they're going to last forever. They're regular keys with holes in them. What's the skill level? If you've been here for any amount of time, I will openly admit that, and I think I'm getting a little better at it, I'm not sure I've always been the best when it comes to talking about what is the skill level, because I've been doing Magic since I was like 5 or 6, right? And so moves that I've been doing for the last 30 or 40 years are just super easy, and I forget for someone who is brand new that it might take them a little bit of work. So with that said, I think this is really sold as like a beginner level. In my humble opinion, while there is no difficult moves, they do require practice in order for the whole routine to really look nice. And because of that, I'm going to say this is advanced beginner level for this routine. Mostly because it does require the practice. Now with that said, I've been doing Magic my entire life. I watched the tutorial once the first time, thought, boom, I'm ready to go. I can do this. And so I started performing and found that it really required more practice because there's choreography in it that just needs to be smooth and just requires a little bit of practice time. So if you get it, put in a little bit of time of practice so that it looks really, really nice. But no difficult sleights. All sleights that you can learn. They're things as simple as a false transfer. If you can do a French drop, then you know that you're well within your wheelhouse to do these. If you are a person who has very small hands, and I have small hands, or if you're a young person and you're worrying about like palming, because you do need to do some palming in this, because they're small, they will fit quite easily in your hand and shouldn't present an issue. So I know I sometimes get folks who will ask me questions about that. These shouldn't be any problem to palm. They're actually smaller in size than the earlier versions of Keymaster. All right, let's talk about what are some of the pros. I think this makes for great everyday carry for someone who likes something that's organic, that they can carry around with them every day, with props that are not suspicious. Boom, this is smack dab, checks all of those boxes off. If you're someone who likes Magic where the magic occurs in your spectator's hand, I think that's a real pro. This ticks that box off as well. Relatively easy to learn. And on this, you are likely to find, if you like working with this type of an organic object with everyday carry, there's 10 different routines on there. So you're bound to find several routines on there that are really going to speak to you and your style and be able to do a routine that you like. All right. This is an updated version. I think this updated version is better, and I personally do like the fact of the inclusion of the key with no holes in it. The only problem with that is like now I have to carry that loosely in my pocket where I'm able to keep all the other ones on my key ring. Let's see. I talked about that already. The nice thing also, which I think I'd mentioned, that you will learn routines that can use these keys, but will also include cards, coins, business cards. So you've got a lot of different ways in which you can utilize and add other elements to this. The con, I have just but one con. The only con in the United States, this cost $59.95. And in my humble opinion, it's just a little bit expensive. This is also subjective. But when I compare it to other products out there on the market, for 4 keys, it seems like, oh, that's a little bit expensive. However, I would add, because you get the over 2 hours worth of tutorial, you get a lot of good tutorial instruction that I think bring up the value level on top of sort of, if you're just looking at, oh, I'm paying that, $60 for 4 keys. You do have to add in the value of the tutorial, which I do think is really valuable. All right, who's gonna like this? I think I've mentioned a lot of it already before. You like organic magic that happens in people's hands with everyday carry. Boom. I think that's folks who are really going to like this. Folks who like everyday objects will like this. People who like magic that happens in your spectators' hands are gonna like it. I think it's great for walk around and for casual performance. I think really great. And it also gives you, you can do a 10 to 20 minute performance just with these 4 keys with all of the different content that is on this tutorial. I think it's also the type of routine that appeals to both kids and adults. There's some releases that come out that I think kids wouldn't be interested in. And keys, oftentimes I think, well, that's not a kid object. But I think it is the visual magic is really good with having the holes move around on the keys. So I think for kids, they might actually like this routine as well. I also like the fact that a lot of stuff that comes out is kind of very gender specific, and there is a little bit more tailored towards men. But this is the sort of routine and objects that everybody carries keys regardless of gender. So I like that it can be broad across the spectrum in terms of not limited to who might be interested in this. All right, I talked about the cost, $59.95. And I think that's it in terms of what I think is most important with this release and for folks to know. So with that said, a couple things. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not done so. If you have Keymaster and you like it or don't like it or have some thoughts, leave it down in the comments. Would really appreciate it and would love to hear your thoughts on this release. Since I was at Magic Live, I've picked up a number of things for review, so let me give you some teaser stuff. I spent a lot of time at Vanishing Ink, it seems like, and I got Inevitable Choice by Christian Grace. I got Kyle Purnell's Big Picture, so that's one that I'm going to be reviewing. And then Christian Grace has also done Miracle One, which is really cool. So that is one that I'll be reviewing as well. I picked up Super Sharpie, which has been out for a long time. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to review it because it's a product that's been around for a long time. But if you like Swami gimmicks, something for you to consider. And of course, I ended up picking up Switch One by Christian Grace as well, along with a whole bunch of different cards that are really cool as well, which I probably won't do any of those card reviews. But anyway, it's my long-winded way of saying stick around for reviews in the coming weeks to see what we've got in the hopper. All right, thank you everyone for being here. I genuinely appreciate it, and I hope you find value in these reviews. I'm FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.